tournament games going on for One Shot GG next month. However, I'm not wearing it tonight because I'm also having some lighting issues in my background where it gets really dark at night. So then when I wear my black suit on top of it, I just disappear. And I'm like, I'm a floating head. So it's like, oh, well, I'll just go with the bright red shirt for now, and we'll hang out on that one until I can fix the lighting issues with my neon blue background that's doing great. So, Redfields, and we're doing a fine job. Well, thank you, Redfields. Appreciate that.
Let's talk about the bans here.
Yeah,
so,
we are in game. We are in game.
These are actual, genuine bans compared to last time. We see Tristana and Maokai for the blue team, very strong champions, and purple team's opting for those mid laners, those AD assassins, those hyper carries, those very slippery ones that's hard to lock down, can burst people out and just back out immediately. So, our first pick might be going mid, just because we see two of those mid laners. We'll see what happens, though.
Again, the Tristana banned out, so usual to see. We do see the Vi banning out as well. We saw the power of her last game, being able to jump over walls, assault and battery onto the enemy ADC, just so much damage poured out no matter what was going on. And so they're going to ban her out this game in particular. And one of your favorite champions that you always talk about, the power of Rise.
Yep.
He banned out. So obviously, Team RainbowUrfs was taking a little bit of a note from your book and saying, we're going to ban out Rise. We're not having any
We actually saw him in the LCS game that just played today. OMG versus Royal Club. Rise was the champion that secured them that game. They left it open for the final game of the best of 5, and actually I should stop here before spoilers.
Too many spoilers.
Rise was a very powerful champion, I'll tell you that much.
I'd write all about his needlessly large rod. Oh my gosh, checkmate.
Checkmate.
So we got a first pick coming in here, Angelic. Oh my God,
I can't about it.
Angelic, because I don't want to mess up her last name again. So thank you, Chicken Nuggets. Thank you, Chicken Nuggets, for the follow. Appreciate that greatly. Angelic is the first pick. He's going to pick a Nidalee. I have not seen a Nidalee played in a ranked game in a long time. I know she had a lot of changes to her. She's now a lot more of an 80 bruiser. But what do you think about her playing, especially for a first pick? Is she easily countered?
It's yes and no. She can be countered in the top lane, but she is a champion that can get out of any rough situations. She has that heal she has. I am the, just call me Mr. Repetitive today. She has the heal, she can poke from afar with those long-range autos, she's got her spears, and if anything goes wrong, she can transform and just pounce out of there. She gets her what's her passive? Aspect of the Cougar, that's what her ult is called.
They did change
she gets that level 1, so...
Yeah.
So she can hop out of there, no problem. Galio and Lee Sin coming in as well. It's... Galio, I don't know how I feel about this into a comp with 2 ADs already. Ah, there we go, there's the Mundo.
Super Tarte is kind of well known for his troll picks, but he does play really well with all of them. So there's a difference between picking a troll champion and playing troll with him, and picking a troll champion but doing very well. Super Tarte is actually rather surprisingly good at playing with just about any champion out there. Now, I'm not a huge fan of a Galio pick, especially when the enemy team doesn't have an AP heavy composition, because one of Galio's best thing is his magic resist. However, his AoE full team taunt is extremely strong. Regardless of the team fight, as long as Galio can live through and doesn't get CC'd from his taunt, then it will be doing very good things for his team. So I'm not against a Galio pick overall. The bad thing will be if Riven doesn't get CC'd, she can easily knock him out of that. Any one of her hops can knock him to the side, which will stop that taunt and decrease the damage that the team takes. So it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. It could be a really dangerous pick. It could be an incredible pick. It's hard to say.
We see a Karthus coming in on the purple team. Now, that is a champion I haven't seen in a very, very long time. Longer than Galio, actually. So, we'll see how that works out. Karthus great for just full-out map control. We'll see if he takes teleport as well, compared to Ignite. Yes, he's good at sniping those kills. He's great in team fights with that wall of pain he throws down. He actually chooses Exhaust instead. I feel that's stronger than Ignite anyways.
Thank you, Wonton, for the follow. Appreciate that. Great to have you guys join us, not only for the watching, but also for the follow as well. You can be a part of any of these games. We almost always will be doing open casting games, so you guys can simply join in, jump into a random custom game with us, have fun, get shoutcasted, and all of these games will be available on YouTube. They're on my That Shoutcast guy channel, which you can check out the information down below on how to jump onto that, so you guys can watch yourself in-game being shoutcasted by the pros of Crotofrost and Jake Kelton. Oh, yeah.
So we see a Fizz going in against Karthus. That is probably one of the best picks you can pick into a Karthus, just because he has great burst damage. He can jump in, jump out. The Wall of Pain is not going to connect. He's not going to get stuck in the Defile. And if Karthus casts out his Requiem, Fizz can use his Playful / Trickster and just dodge the entire thing. Right now, Blue Team has a lot of ways of partially negating the Requiem. Nidalee has her heal. Galio has a shield, which he can throw on everyone to increase their magic resist. Lee Sin has his Iron Will? Safeguard to soak up some damage.
I think
And then
the Ramus pick is going to be either the make or break thing for Team RainbowUrfs, because Ramus can be hugely effective with that taunt and hyper tankiness. However, if he's shut down early, if he doesn't get that tankiness that he needs by mid to late game, it could be really, really bad for the team. So it's a toss-up. I personally also hate Fizz. I hate anything to do with Fizz. I would be more than happy. I would probably be elated if they destroyed Fizz from the game. If Riot took Fizz out of the game, I would drive to the Riot headquarters and personally high five every
and just
single
give him a
person
high
in
five,
there.
yeah.
Just because it is just.
I know what you mean. I'm the same way with Lulu. I can't stand Lulu, and it's not just because I'm a Katarina main and she counters her. Everything about the champion I just don't like, but we do see that coming in from the RainbowUrfs here.
Yeah, they did pick a Janna, the Queen of Disengage, which Janna Lucian's pick's not bad. But before we get too much further, let's go ahead and run through the champions and their players real fast. Make sure we do that. So go ahead and start with Team Korea.
All right, so we have Imagine Peace playing Lucian as the AD carry. We have Your Drunk Granny playing Riven in the top lane. We have we have Rigel Q playing Karthus in the mid lane. We have the Baby Tossin Bandit playing Rammus in the jungle. And we have Check My Oil on Janna support.
Wait, is that on your left side or is that on your right side? Is that purple team or blue team for you?
That's purple team.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing blue team. You're always blue team.
I thought you said Team Korea.
Yeah, Team Korea is blue team.
But okay,
you got it wrong. Go fix it. Go fix it. Blue team is Team Korea. So anyway, whatever. I will do Team Korea in the meantime. And Jack with the Nidalee in the top lane. Super Tarte playing this Galio in the bottom lane support role. I am no bot. He's playing the Lee Sin, the new thumb Lee Sin in the jungle. His head looks like a thumb. And with the Fizz in the mid lane, it's going to be Nova's Legend playing on that one. And LPK, welcome back once again. Always good to have you join us with the Caitlyn in the bottom lane ADC role.
All right, so blue team is Korea. Purple team is the RainbowUrfs.
Yes.
I got it. It's drilled in.
Yeah, well, the other thing you can do is on OBS, you can add two different little text boxes with the team names, just on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, and that way you can just retype the team names once people throw it in there, and that way it's not very hard as you're talking to then just glance over and be like, oh, look, it's Team Korea. That's what's happening right now. In the meantime, I was going to say is, for those of you guys who are new or who are starting to watch us tonight, this is our first night of duo casting, and we're practicing a lot getting ready for One Shot GG's next tournament on November 1st and 2nd. So don't worry, we have a lot of technical issues we're still figuring out. Give us a little bit of practice here. Patience, we're making do. But it's going to be awesome, and glad to have you all join us. It's been a fantastic night so far. We still have, after this game, another game that we're going to be casting as well, and it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait for those ones. Oh man, I picked up some fans in your chat there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, legit Ghost. Have my children, please. Just too sexy, too sexy. I think it's the suit. The suit has got to make it. The suit's got to make it. It's just too good, too good. But
you want to
these
see
last 20 seconds here, I'm doing another thing as well. Is that when I'm about to do 10 push-ups. So really fast here, I'm predicting that RainbowUrfs takes this game. Throwing it out there right now, RainbowUrfs takes this game. I'm not exactly positive why. I just really hope so. Go RainbowUrfs, you can do it. Maybe it's because I like your name. Who do you think will take the win on this one?
My answer is a lot more boring. Actually, no. I have just as good of a reason as you do. My reason, I pick the blue team. I pick Team Korea, just because you pick the other team, and now it's a lot more interesting. Now we're head to head.
Oh, well, one of us is going to be doing 10 push-ups. It's going to be you or it's going to be me.
I don't even know if my suit jacket will allow it. I might have to take
find
this
a way
off.
to
I'm
do
gonna have to strip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, everyone in your chat's gonna go nuts.
So for those of you guys who are watching on my stream, I am having some graphical issues. The game, for some reason, loads in extremely small, but a quick change on the graphics settings, putting it back to that 1920 by 1080 allows me to go back to normal watching. So bear with me on this overlay as it looks a little bit weird. Don't worry, once we're in game, it will all be fixed.
And I'd like to take a moment for everyone to recognize and appreciate the lack of overlays I have here. Those are coming along soon. I promise you guys they're coming soon. But for now, we're just going to appreciate what Riot gave us.
The beauty that Riot is. I mean, it's just beautiful. So, unfortunately, usually Lee Sin's got a little bit of an eye on somebody's boobs here, but there's a fizz pole sticking in his face in this game. So he's like, oh, I don't think his smile should be that wide when you see a fizz pole sticking there. But I mean, that's never a problem. Lucian, though, he's got an eyeful on that Riven. He's like, oh yeah, I'm at the perfect angle for this right here.
And then Ramus is just doing his own thing. He's got those blinders on in that shell of his.
Oh,
he can't
yeah.
look around.
He's just like, shh, everything is okay.
Yeah.
Switching over to loading in game here, and while I go ahead and switch these up, talk to us real fast about which lane do you think will be one of the key factors as to which team will win? Which lane matchup is something to keep a close eye on?
I think the top lane is going to be the most influential here because Riven is a hyper carry champion. She has a lot of mobility. She has great AoE damage. If she gets ahead early, she can carry the whole game on her own. But Nidalee is kind of the same way, kind of a little different. She can poke and harass from afar and all that, but she'll get to a point where she has tons of damage with that Trinity Force. She'll have the Trinity Force. She might have the Blade of the Ruin King. But she'll also have a lot of defensive items. She can split push, and it's going to take a lot, like at least 2 to 3 members from the red team to take her down. So whatever member gets the first kill in the top lane is going to hugely dictate this game. That's how I feel, anyways.
Indeed. Something I love is that when Lee Sin does his little recall thing, the palm tree shows up and it actually looks like a small island because he has a little bit of that sand and the water just kind of floats just around the side of it, so it looks like a little adorable island. But I've never seen a palm tree grow that fast. I do not know what's in his potion he's drinking, but it is something scary because when your palm tree grows that fast, we've got issues.
So looks like we're not going to see any invades here. The top lane Riven, she's just camping that bush there. Wanting to see if Nidalee's going to go through there. Riven did start with her. Oh shit, she hasn't taken anything yet. I imagine if Nidalee does come through, she'll start Q, throw down a lot of damage, but Nidalee's going to take the safe way to lane through the tri-bush there. Not going to get caught. Just going to hold out, play safe, wait until she has the level advantage.
Aw, thank you to Imagine Peace. The shout out to Jake and Chrono, our super hot shoutcasters. Aw, yeah. Nova Legend is like, go Jake, and I guess the other guy. Yeah, go have the other guy as well. So.
Yeah, go other guy.
All right, so Nidalee drew first blood in damage on the Riven. I think she was the first teammate to draw damage on another teammate, or champion to champion. So congratulations to the Nidalee
blue team had the lead for just a moment.
Just a moment. That first initial damage, the blue team says, we're going to win it. We're going to win. That spear, that javelin. It's actually not a spear, it's a javelin. But Super Target getting poked down to about half health here in that bottom lane, taking a good bit of damage from the Lucian. It's really going to be hard for blue team down here in that bottom lane to really hang on until level 6, because once Galio gets his ultimate level 6, that's when things will turn for Team Korea. But as of now, Galio still takes.
Yeah, that's so much damage. With the Eye of the Storm on Lucian, he can dash in with that Relentless Pursuit. He just hit level 2 as well. So Lucian choosing the right time to go in there. He got level 2 over his lane opponent. Chose the right time to go in. Relentless Pursuit, go in, get the double shot off. Piercing Light, another double shot. So that is 5 sources of damage. Yes, 5 sources of damage right there with the Eye of the Storm on him. So Ooh, the Yorble Snap Trap does catch Janna there, so a lot of poke coming down there from Caitlyn. Gonna be eating another one.
Janna just clearing those Yordle Snap Traps. You know, just a nice thing to have.
We're gonna, whether it was on purpose or not, we're gonna say it was clearing out the bush.
Oh yeah. Making sure the enemy team doesn't have vision on it, which is always a good thing to do. Always a good thing to do. Continuing to eat those biscuits of rejuvenation in that bottom lane that Janna did. So another thing to note is that Lucian actually has a little bit faster wave clear with that piercing light, mostly due to the fact that it has a lot less of a mana cost than Caitlyn's built over Peacemaker. While it does more damage per se overall, he can spam that piercing light a lot faster and a lot more efficient than the Caitlyn, at least at these early levels. Once we hit more of the mid game, she's going to be able to pump him out just as fast as he is, but he has a little bit stronger push power so far.
Yeah, that's right. Caitlyn is quite mana reliant. Whenever I play her, I usually, when I go back, I pick up a couple health potions, but I get some mana potions as well because she runs out of mana really, really fast. She doesn't have the most reliable wave clear. Yes, the built over Peacemaker is good, but yeah, it uses a lot of mana. We see Fizz going in there with the Playful Slash Trickster, putting some damage down onto Karthus. I really thought Fizz would have more of a lead by now, just because Karthus isn't so strong early on and Fizz is, but looks like they're just playing it out safe. Janna taking a lot of damage there from Caitlyn.
I think Karthus is actually focusing on his AoE, that something Torment. What is that called?
Defile.
Defile, that's right. With his Defile, which means every time that Fizz goes in on him, he just turns that Defile on. And whether Fizz has gotten the damage that he wants onto Karthus or not, when Fizz is backing off, he's still going to be taking that Defile damage. So they're kind of even back and forth. He was out of the early potions, having that, I'm kind of bouncing my crown around, crystalline flask. So he was out of those, he drank all of those. And Karthus hadn't drank a single health pot at that point before they then traded it up again. So very, very cool to see a Karthus actually taking a slight advantage over the Fizz.
Yeah, very interesting. Would have not predicted that, but in the top lane we do see, I would have thought Nidalee would have the lead over Riven, but actually, did Riven start a red pot? Did she start an elixir? Because she has no items.
Yeah,
she just got a brutalizer.
I would say that as well, because she just picked up her first item, or like her first solid item, the brutalizer, and she didn't start with a Doran's blade or what you usually see is like a cloth armor for her in that top lane. But I guess she started with that elixir, and so had a little bit of extra damage and help in that top lane. And you could see that it was very effective, being above Nidalee by about 8 farm before Nidalee stuck around in that top lane. So Nidalee hasn't backed yet, and Riven is just about back to lane, picking up some golems before heading back towards the lane.
Yeah, so Riven will have the item advantage now, but Nidalee does have that summoner teleport, so she can go back. She is sitting on, how much gold do you have? You have 1,550
Oh,
gold.
Rammus skanking in this bottom lane. Gonna get the taunt onto LPK on the Caitlyn. She's got that piercing light from Lucian doing so much damage. The exhaust did go down. It's actually first blood over to LPK. I'm completely forgetting his name. Galio simply hyper-focused the Janna, getting a lot of damage onto the Janna, slowly punching her down. And in the meantime, the rest of the team wasn't even realizing that Janna was in so much trouble, and Janna went down. I think it was the Pillar of Peacemaker from LPK actually picked up that kill. So a great job there from blue team. Team Korea grabbing that one. And then top lane, nearly very low health. There's Riven going in. She ganked. Oh my gosh, the flash.
Yeah, just barely misses it. She tried to flash in and throw down the key burst, but she was just out of range. The stun did not go down, and the wind slash would just, yes, it deals execute damage, but it just wasn't enough. So we see, as far as summoners go in the top lane, oh, Riven had ignite too.
Yeah, I think
Riven
she was in
ignite
range. She was trying to flash ult, or flash the wind. I can't forget the name.
Wind slash.
Wind slash. Flash, wind slash, ignite. However, the immediate flash from Nidalee meant that the ignite never landed. On top of that, the wind slash is actually the tail end of the wind slash after Nidalee flashed that did that last bit of damage to her. And now with I'm No Bot as well as Angela going in onto your drunk granny, they thought that Riven was going to head up, but she juked the javelin.
Oh, but here comes the Requiem from Karthus, going to take down both of them, almost. Just one. Lucian picks up the other one with those auto attacks and the piercing light, so great map awareness from him. Blue buff going to be passed over to Karthus there. It's a shame he didn't get it just before the Requiem went down. He'd have that little extra bit of cooldown reduction, but still good. And that ties out the game. And John is having some
palming there for just a moment though, because Karthus actually, that was his 3rd or 4th Skittle, as I call them, but his Q. Do you know what his Q is called? I can check it real fast here. Is Lay Waste. Yeah, it was his 4th lay waste, I believe, to actually pick up that blue buff. And the blue buff was just sitting there. Rammus was, holding that S key to just sit there and not do any damage or anything, just waiting for Karthus to pick it up. And Karthus dropped one lay waste and it missed. Dropped a second lay waste as he's heading away, thinking he'd get it that time, and he missed. So then he had to come back before dropping a third lay waste and actually picked up that blue buff. So
meanwhile, Rammus is like being clobbered on by the blue.
He's like, I'm really glad I'm tanky. I'm really glad I'm tanky. But so we do have a 3-minute pause here, waiting for Janna to come back. She did disconnect. Check my oil, did DC, and I don't think that it was a rage quit. There she goes. She just reconnected.
Yeah, I noticed in that gank in the bottom lane as well. The first time they went in for first blood, Janna, like in the middle of the team fight, she just kind of stopped and stood there.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe there were some connection issues. I wasn't sure, but I think this fairly well proves it. Looks like the game will be on pause now. We're going back in. 2-2 the scores. CS dead even in the mid lane. Riven has the advantage in the top lane. Nidalee with that Sheen now may be able to turn this around.
But overall, gold, neither team really has a heavy gold advantage. Blue team has about 150 gold, as I'm seeing both of them kind of tick up here. But 150 gold at 8 minutes in is nothing to really, laugh at.
That's just a matter of
a couple CS. Okay, so Janna is still having some connection issues. If she continues to do so, we may have to continue the game without her, even though I'd hate to Shoucast a 4v5. She did DC again, so we may see a pause here in a moment. But in the meantime, both these bottom lanes, you can actually look at their items there, the Lucian and the Caitlyn, both picking up BF swords as well as Doran's blades. However, Caitlyn has a movement advantage with those boots. Lucian instead opting to grab an early pink ward to be able to put that down and get some vision. However, it will only be of value if he gets it early enough that it sits there for more than that 3-minute timer. Otherwise, he may have just picked up a ward and saved himself a little extra gold, or the boots if he then lives. So they didn't worry about pausing. Janna's already reconnected, so Lucian just getting a little bit of extra XP in that bottom lane, dashing to keep himself from any damage the LPK could put on him.
I'm impressed how well he's doing in the bot lane 1v2, but actually here we see Rammus going in, Fizz using the Playful Slash Trickster over the wall. Lee Sin lands the Sonic Wave, follows up with the Resonating Strike. Chum of the Waters goes out onto Rammus, to Wall of Pain, goes down, slowing them both down. Rammus lands the Puncturing Taunt, Exhaust onto Fizz as well. A lot of damage going down. Karthus gets Dragon's Rage back into the wall. Looks like we're in the top lane again. They're going to get out just fine. Actually, Lee Sin going back in onto Rammus. Defile goes down to lay waste as well. Seeing if he's going to have enough.
Karthus is tanky enough.
Yeah, Karthus is... Oh, but the damage over time from Fizz going to take him down. Buff transfer complete. Looks like they're diving Caitlyn, just tanking up the tower. She gets taken down, though, as well. Not bad for a 1v2. Riven diving way past, actually lands the Ignite this time. Nidalee gets taken down. Kills all over the map. 5-5 right now. And the gold is... Actually, we're
still pretty even.
Yeah, still pretty even. I wouldn't say it's in one team's favor. There's not that much of a gap yet. We see more fighting over here.
That Fizz always
with that
the playful
impressive playful trickster over the wall.
So hard to do. I would have failed that 3 or 4 times before I ever managed to successfully get that.
I cannot play Fizz at all. I tried one time and I thought, you know what, this is we'll wait for another day.
Need to have a little extra experience. So Janet's still having some connection issues. However, purple team just allowing it to continue to play out. Just doing their best. I mean, again, they're not doing badly. Lucian having that extra experience in that bottom lane with that 1v2 does help them out a little bit. It's just going to get a little bit of a level advantage over the Caitlyn. And it looks like Janet may be sticking around. She's finally moving out of the base, so hopefully she'll be in it for the long run. Lucian at 54 farm to Caitlyn 73, so a little bit down there by about 20 farm, but that's nothing too shabby and can be turned around, especially when it gets towards this mid-game. We haven't had, as I was going to say here, amazing, no towers down, and it's at the almost, it's 11-minute mark here. So that's getting kind of late for a tower to go down. Eventually, someone's going to start taking towers down, and we'll see some of these more mid-lane team fights. But Janna's back. Yep.
So a little bit of poke going on down here. Galio with that Idol of Durand up now, seeing if maybe he'll want to go in for an ultimate. Just throwing the autos down for now. Now Jonathan lands on the Yordle Snap Trap. Here comes the Requiem as well. Rammus coming in with the Powerball. Will he land the taunt? Yeah, the Puncturing Taunt lands. Cullen going up from Lucian. Is it going to be enough damage? Oh, he flashes in for the Piercing Light. Onto Caitlyn. He is so low. Meanwhile, gank in the top lane. Riven going in. Wind Slash not enough to take down Nidalee. Lee Sin kicks Riven into the Nidalee. Keyburst stunning them both, and Riven comes out with the double kill. Fantastic mechanics there, turning that around, that 2v1, taking them both down. Riven is in such a substantially she's in a great position, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think it would have been just finding that top lane that would have been able to take Riven down without any problem whatsoever, except for that Dragon Rage kick by Lee Sin, kicking Riven into the Nidalee, and Riven's just like, oh hey, thanks for the help, boom, and just auto-attacks Nidalee dead. And then when Lee Sin follows up with that Sonic Wave, she's like, oh, and you're dead too, it's no problem there, so thanks for the help, buddy. That's one of those moments when you're just like, I thought that I had it, and it just slipped through my hands.
I like to take a note that Nidalee was actually handed over the blue buff there. Fizz had picked up the blue buff, so Lee Sin said, okay, I'll give it to Nidalee. She can keep the heals up, she can keep poking with those spears, she can heal so Riven can't turn the damage around on her. And then immediately, not even a minute later, Riven has that blue from her now, so that's even more of an advantage.
Riven will be making very good use of that mana. I mean, she's so mana dependent, she's going to need a lot of it to be able to continue to spam her ability. Oh, I'm talking about so completely different. She can use the cooldowns though. The cooldown refreshment for all of her bunny hops is going to help a lot, and she can just spam that even
Here we go again.
She goes in, getting a good bit of damage onto Angelic, just forcing that Nidalee to back off. I know that the Nidalee heal got nerfed, so she can't heal herself quite as much as she did before. You can see she's very little using the pounce, but the flash initiation from her.
But the flash out of the wind slash!
Again, amazing flashes from Angelic on this Nidalee. That's the second or third time that she has flashed and lived through that wind slash from Riven just every single time. Ace in the hole. Lucian hoped to get the culling, enough damage onto Caitlyn to finish her off. However, Fizz is going to pick up that one on Lucian in that top lane. Lucian got a little bit of damage. Nidalee hanging around here. They're trying to...
They're so ballsy here, just waiting for an opportunity to outplay them. And she's definitely on the right champion to do it. A lot of mobility. She has the AoE stun. She has the shields. And with the blue buff having them up more frequently, here she's going in the mid lane. 30% health, no problem. Let's tackle this Fizz anyways.
That's a scary Riven right there. When she's going in at 30% health, you just don't want to mess with that. Fizz maybe baited in. Oh, she's gonna go in first on him, knock him down to about half health there. She doesn't have that wind slash ultimate. Is gonna back off. Just take her half health of Fizz and leave the mid lane.
Yeah, that Tiamat just doing so much damage. She has a lot of AoE damage as it is, but it really helps. But what the best part about the Tiamat for Riven is the ability for it to cancel the animations from her abilities. If she uses the cleave, the active ability right at the right time, oh, but forget about that. Flash Idol of Duran from Galio, landing it on 3 members. The taunt's going down. Riven picking up the first kill already. Exhaust goes down onto her. Ignite onto Galio. He gets taken down. This is a 2-for-1 exchange in the mid lane in favor of Red Team.
But Fizz finally got the kill on Riven he wanted all along. That's why he stuck around, was just to take out the Riven. And he was successful at it. So Riven did go down, and now Nidalee is hard pushing in that top lane. Angelic doing a fantastic job up there. But your Drunk Granny, 4-2, finished her Hydras at 15 minutes in. That is going to be a very, very painful Riven when it gets towards that late game. Bramus up there just trying to stop that push, and instead having his bot lane, Lucian, pushing down here. Should be able to take out that tower, no problem. Imagine Peace saying, I'll take that tower. You guys lost me, thanks.
Yep, that evened out the gold as well again. So gold dead even between these two teams. About 300 gold separates them, 200 now as the score updates. So again, that's just a matter of potions and wards. These teams are dead even. It just comes down to how they handle these team fights.
Now, Lucian doesn't have quite the edge on the Affinity Edge just yet. However, he has the gold so that once he backs, he can finish off the Infinity Edge. So at the moment, there's a little bit of advantage over to Caitlyn, as she already picked that up, as well as has her boots. But Lucian should be able to even that out slowly but surely once he backs off. And they're going to jump in on a Fizz.
Wall of Pain goes down, slowing down Chum of the Waters onto Janna here. Will he be able to change something? I don't know. Lee Sin going in for the safeguard. Requiem comes out as well. Is it going to be enough? Karthus does not take him down. He actually playful slash trickster the Requiem there to stay alive.
Beautiful playful trickster in the midst of that Requiem just to dodge that damage. It's very difficult these days to actually time on that ultimate because you just have to know exactly how long that ultimate lasts to be able to dodge it at the right time. So good play there from that Fizz.
So yeah, fantastic work there. We see Riven maybe wanting to go in on the two of them here. Both Nidalee and Lee Sin are both at low health. The Sonic Wave does not land. I don't know if he'd even want to go in on that, but Riven successfully 2v1ing again. Now a 4v1 might be a little out of her range. She goes in. Ace in the going to take her down. She might have been able to kill Nidalee there, but still, the teamwork from blue team here proving to be too much. 2v1? Okay. 3v1? Maybe.
4v1.
But
How about that?
yeah, that's not something she can do. Chana monsooning them all away, making sure her AD carry gets out okay.
In the meantime, though, red team did pick up Dragon. Rammus tanked it and allowed Karthus to do most of the damage to finish it off. But the taunt on Fizz is going to be too strong for the fish. There's the ultimate from Galio.
That's like 3 members just barely on the edge of it. So good ult from Galio. They're not able to get much out of it.
Caitlyn, actually 90 caliber net, trying to get close enough to use some auto attacks on Lucian. He only is at 200 health. However, I think he'll be able to live through that. I was going to say earlier, a Caitlyn pick against a Riven is actually one of my favorite things because a Riven, regardless of how many hops she has, cannot outdash an ace in the hole. You just can't. That will follow you to the end of time, no matter how far you go. And that's what Riven attempted to do. She did 3 hops, a dash, and her flash, and still wasn't successful at getting out of range of it. But that's what I love about a Caitlyn pick. Anyway, 9-11, and now RainbowUrfs taking a slight lead so far, about 1,000 gold. That Dragon, a huge thing. In the meantime, while that fighting was happening, 4v1 to get that Riven dead meant that they lost Dragon. So first Dragon over to red team, doing a very good job there.
Yeah, so I don't even know what I have to say at this point.
Riven dodging 3v4 down here. Chum in the water is going to knock her up. Will enough of the initiation be there? Fizz, nice and tricks for Playful over the wall. Can't do it a second time. Literally trying to flash, going to fail it. They're still going to jump in on her. You're drunk, Granny. She's running away. Oh, she dodged the Playful Trickster. Almost had enough damage to take down Nova's Legend. The Ignite ticking away. Not going to be enough, though, with the Nidalee. A great heal from her.
Just barely saving Fizz there with the heal. Fantastic work from that, but red team going to get the tower off of this.
That baby toss bandit spinning against the tower. It doesn't do any damage, but he just wanted to spin on the tower for fun. I think he was running out the rest of it. He could have hit minions to knock it out, but when you're on that Rammus, you will spin until you either cancel it or you hit something. And he was spinning up to the tower like he was going to keep attacking it, so he kept clicking on the tower. However, the tower doesn't count as something that you can hit for Rammus, so instead he just kept spinning against the tower. Spin, 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 spin.
It was quite like how it was before, where originally with Rammus, where you would go into your power ball, you would run in and gank a lane, you'd spin into lane, roll along, and you'd right-click the enemy champion you want to hit. But while you're in the power ball form, you can't auto-attack them. So if you'd right-click the enemy champion, you'd roll up to them, and then just kind of stay there rolling right in front of them.
Exactly.
You'd actually have to click past them to hit them, but they changed that quite a few patches ago, and it's a lot easier now, but
Playful
that
Trickster
just reminded me of that quite a bit.
Yeah, Fizz keeps his blue buff jumping over the wall. Riven probably could have bursted him down if he hadn't done that. So very nice job getting over the wall on that one. Is going to stick around. Going to heal up with that Nidalee heal. Continue to throw those out. Caitlyn and Galio just off to the side here. Riven continuing to bounce around, even if there's no need to. She doesn't have any mana costs. Why not bounce around a little bit? Ooh, damage onto Caitlyn there. Karthus continuing to throw those Qs out. Lay Waste doing a bit of poke damage, which is really nice. However, blue team looking strong. 5-man here in the mid lane. Riven coming here to join them as well. If we see a team fight, it's going to be a big one. Lucian, the only member missing in that bottom lane.
So we see the 5 members against 4 members. So blue team might be able to try something now, but they're really, really scared of that Riven. Riven having that huge AoE damage. The Ravenous Hydra finished on her. Boots of Lucidity, the Brutalizer as well. So she's sitting on 25% cooldown reduction at least with just those. Actually, I can check that. She's at 40%. How is she?
40% cooldown.
38 points. Yeah,
gotta have the runes
it's got to be in her runes and mastery. She's spec'd for Riven. So maxed out cooldown reduction without blue buff. So she is one scary Riven.
She also has the Boots of Lucidity as well that helps out, but neither team really interested in diving in just yet. Maybe Riven actually proved me wrong. A Drunk Granny going in, lots of damage from the culling. It's going to be Galio trying to get in. Not going to land. Riven takes him out immediately. And the rest of blue team now backing off. The heal onto Lee, not going to be enough. Karthus takes him out with that ultimate as the Requiem, as the rest of red team now screw the tower. We're going to engage on the rest of your team. Rammus says, maybe look at Will back and forth. He's indecisive. He decides not to. They're going to take the tower him back up. No one from blue team sticking their neck out a little bit too far. So red team takes the tower and backs off. Dragon will be up here in about another minute. Although red team's gonna have to stick around for a whole minute if they want the dragon. Instead, they realize that and are gonna head towards that bottom lane and push it out a little bit. So great there, engage. Blue team went a little bit too far before backing out. Riven saw an opportunity to immediately leap in, both on the Caitlyn and I believe the Lee Sin was who she was jumping in immediately onto.
Yeah, that was a fantastic engage by Riven. She just barely got out alive. But the thing about that is, she has such great AoE burst damage that she can go in, she can throw all this damage down. Even if she gets taken out, she has brought down the enemy health bars by so much. Her team is readily available to clean up after that. So here we go again. She engages. The Blade of the Exile goes out, but it's not going to be enough. Caitlyn's at half health. The teleport comes in from Nidalee as well. Lucian is trying to run away. He is quite a slippery champion with that relentless pursuit, though. We see a 5v2 in this bot lane here. Karthus is on the way, as well as Janna. The culling goes out. They're just trying to run. Chum of the Water's not going to hit. Lucian flashes out of that one, just barely in time.
Great flash.
Looks like he's going to keep sieging.
So
Dragon is up in 10 seconds.
Nidalee leaping in onto the Rammus, getting a little bit of damage using the long range of the pounce once she has the mark of the Cougar on them. Galio as well throwing out a little more of the poke, but now it's going to be a 5v4. Blue team with not a whole lot of health on their health bars. Galio and Nidalee, the only two people that are really up high in health, and they are looking to back him off. Another thing, they didn't have that last team fight, the 5v5 in the mid lane. They didn't have Lee Sin CC because Riven burst him down so hard when he was at 200 health and had to immediately back out of that team fight. So he didn't have any chance to use the Dragon Rage, didn't have any chance to do anything. And so that's why red team was so confident in that last team fight. We'll see if they can do it again though. Riven is making her way here. There's Ace in the hole, gonna knock Lucian down to about half health there. Imagine if he's gonna think twice about going in now, but Riven showing up, your drunk granny leaping in here. She flashes to
landing on the
as well
3.
Go ahead.
But the Idla Duran from Galio landing on the 3 as well. The post-ring taunt does land on the Caitlyn. She gets taken down almost immediately. Her damage doing nothing to Rammus. Will they continue this? Sonic Wave does land on Riven there. He does not want to go in on that. The Lee Syndrome is... He is not suffering from that this time. That Riven is far too scary. Gonna snap him right out of that one. Riven taking a lot of damage. Will she fall from this? Note the Valor is too much, along with the Janna Monsoon. Gonna get them out alive. Lucian still poking it down with that double shot of his. And is the fight going to continue? I think the blue team just needs to back away.
They did get this tower down to half health here, and now they have the minion. Last time they were simply tanking the tower, but with the minion, they also are going to take out the tower this time. A nice flash there. I think it's actually a pounce from Nidalee, going to be able to keep them from getting engaged on by Riven. And red team, now they have the dragon live and available, are going to back off and try to grab that. Team Korea could attempt to engage and grab this dragon, but I don't think so. They're probably going to play it safe as that dragon's already gone. No chance there whatsoever. The damage from RainbowUrfs so strong right now. About 6k gold in the lead, 6,000 gold, and continuing to expand that with every tower or champion that goes down.
What I really like here is how well your drunk granny knows her champion, Riven. She has the correct runes and masteries, and you'll notice how aggressive she's playing. She's staying way ahead of the whole rest of her team. And yeah, we see a little bit of a chase there, but she's staying way ahead just to intimidate the blue team, to keep them back, to keep them at bay while they take objectives. Because she knows, okay, I know on this, I know how much shield this will give me, how far I can get, I know if I can get out or not, so staying at that range. It looks like she's overextended, but that just shows how well she knows her champion and how easily she can escape in these situations.
Janna, with that scrying... sweeping lens add-on that she has. Is there a different name for it when it's upgraded completely? Oracle's lens. So it goes from sweeping lens to Oracle's lens. Lessons learned. With the Oracle's lens that Janna had actually not only picked up one ward, but a second ward as well. Red team having a lot of 2 pink wards here by Dragon, a number of wards, one in the jungle there from blue team's red side, as well as around that bottom lane they were just fighting. And now they just get all these wards. They're going to be getting this Baron. I don't think the blue team knows that they're there at all, so it should be a free Baron over to RainbowUrfs, who's doing well, just continuing to expand their gold lead now, pushing up to 8k gold, and trying to decide what lane to push. Looks like they want to push that top lane, considering that's the only one that has an exterior turret.
Yeah, they just shredded that Baron down so fast. Karthus, one of the best champions in the game, for taking down Dragon or Baron or any of those isolated big neutral monsters. It's like the way Kha'Zix does with the isolation damage. His Lay Waste provides that as well. So that, along with the Defile and the rest of the damage from the team, they just shredded that in mere seconds flat. They do lose the mid tower off of it, but I think a tier 1 mid tower for Baron, not a bad trade.
Not a bad trade, but good there from Team Korea, actually taking something off of that. So many teams would go, oh, they got Baron, let's just back off completely. We need to play defensive, we can't do anything. So they would just completely back off. And instead, they realized that everyone on Team RainbowUrf is going to have to back off, so let's get something out of that. They're not going to be back in time. We have enough damage to take out this tower. We're going to do that. Nice zoning from Super Tarte as well, trying to play that defensive tank front line. Be there for and engage with this ultimate, or simply cause the enemy team back off. They're going to jump it onto Ribbon. Solo health, but not gone just yet.
Just such a slippery champion. Great ults all around. Karthus' Defile just destroying everyone. The great AoE damage. His Archangel Staff healing him up nice, or the shield from that just keeping him alive. Everyone's so low. Is the Requiem going to come out? How many people will it pick up? He gets into the bush there so he doesn't get interrupted. Is it going to take anyone down? It takes down Caitlyn, and that is a 3-for-2 exchange in favor of blue team.
I do have to say, despite Caitlyn going down, it was very, very well played of her. When the Defile was out from Karthus doing so much damage around everyone, she not only healed to keep herself and Nidalee, get them out of that Defile, but also then followed with a great 90 caliber net and dodged 3 Lay Wastes from Karthus as well as that Defile. So great play there from Caitlyn, even though she went down from Karthus' Requiem on top of that. So fantastic job from LPK, my main man LPK. Oh yeah.
So Red Team does still have the map control right now. They have far more towers than the blue team has here. I should start calling by their team names. Team RainbowUrf has way more towers than Korea does. They have the whole inner ring of towers still, and 1 outer tower in the top lane. Meanwhile, Team Korea here, all their towers outside the base are gone. The inhib towers are still standing, but that's it. So they need to get these wards down in their jungle.
I was gonna say, Fizz was dancing around the Rammus before deciding, hey, let's back off from that one. I know that I got some damage, but Rammus with a single taunt could be really bad. So blue team dancing around Dragon. They saw that the Dragon has been taken. It's got another minute 30 on it. I think that they think that Dragon will be up sooner, which is why they're still sticking around. However, if they stick around too long, that could be a crack in their base if Red Team finds an opportunity, or Team RainbowUrf finds an opportunity to push in. That Janna is still disconnecting and reconnecting, which is a huge thing if you think about it, considering that she has been out of the game for at least 5 or so minutes from all of the DCs that she's had, and yet, despite that, Red Team is still doing well, which is something I want to throw out here to every person that's watching the game. If you have somebody that DCs and is doing this, it's so easy, and so many times in ranked games, they just give up and back off, saying, we've got a DC, let's quit. But it's not true. You can still win the game. This is a 4v5 this team is winning, as now they go, and Galio getting a nice ult now. Just only hits Rammus. Riven as well off to the side. Fizz jumping immediately onto him. That Riven's going down. Lee Sin picking up 2 kills off of that. The Rammus and the Riven. The ace in the hole now onto Karthus. He's trying to back off, really be able to escape.
Those Lay Waste doing so much. The Defile going to work on Fizz, but he's just going to get out of there. Will the Requiem come out? It is up. No, he decides not to use it. Doesn't feel it'll take down anyone. Fizz is the lowest member. He can play full Trickster out of that. And that was a 4-for-0 exchange for blue team. So they're clawing their way back into this, going to take down this inner tower. May even get the inhibitor tower. We'll see. Another thing I'd like to note is that, you see, for the blue team, for Korea here, they have a teleport. They have a champion, a good split pusher, Nidalee, with Summoner Teleport. So if they can get into a position where Nidalee can push top lane, push bottom lane by herself, and just have the rest of the team try and avoid engages, just push the waves but avoid engages, they may be able to let her farm up and start taking some towers down on the sidelines, because these fights are going well, but with 5 members, with Janna actually there with her Monsoon, with her Eye of the Storm, I don't know if they can guarantee the victory, like, as well as that last fight.
Yeah, I think the last fight only worked because they caught people out one at a time. Again, that little feed here, little feed there. They caught the Rammus, which is one of the tankiest members. The Galio ultimate just taunting him so long that he couldn't taunt anyone else. That's what Rammus is so good at, is taunting the Caitlyn for full 3-4 seconds means that she does no damage. But because he was the one that was taunted, he couldn't do any of that, so he very quickly went down. Followed by, and I got to love this Fizz, Nova Legends on this Fizz ever since about mid-game on, his single focus targeted the Riven. Every time he sees the Riven, it's chumming the waters, dashing in, playful trickster to get on top of her and get as much damage as possible. And Lee Sin as well. They know that this Riven is the key factor on Red Team's side. They know that they want her dead. So every time they see her, they're going in immediately on her. Now they haven't engaged here because they don't have the backup of the team yet. However, that's what I love about Blue Team. That's one of the things, one of the reasons why they won that last fight. Once they had Riven out, they could then turn it on to the rest of Purple Team and one at a time take them out.
I think Riven needs to adapt to that as well. She realizes, oh, forget about that. Flash out of Duran. Lucian getting caught in. He's going to flash out. Summoner Heal going down as well. Ace in the hole coming in onto Karthus. He's not going to fall though. Chum of the Water's going out as well. Not going to land on anyone critical. Fizz going in with a playful trickster. He gets exhausted. Going to back out of that. Galio just poking them from afar, but it's really not going to do too much. Sonic Wave does land onto Janna. Doesn't want to follow that though. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we have Riven trying to push into the base. Nidalee trying to hold her off. We'll see if
just teleported from that team fight. She literally threw a javelin onto Lucian and then teleported to that top lane. And it's set to save the tower. Again! Flashes, Angelic on these flashes every time. That wind slash from Riven not going to land. Oh, but she's going to flash. You flash to dodge my ult. Can you flash and dodge me? Going to take her down. So they are going to have to back up. Lee Sin already is back to be able to stop it as well.
But this is a 5v3 in the mid lane. Yeah, sorry, 4v3 in the mid lane. But they're actually managing to do this. Yes, they had the numbers advantage, but they were all quite low. Here comes the Requiem as well. Will it pick up anyone? No, it doesn't. They're going to go in. They're going to get this inhibitor.
So I have to really quick here, Super Tarte in that first fight that happened, the 4v5 in the mid lane, when Blue Team had the numbers advantage, Galio went in, Super Tarte, soaked up so much damage and only lost about half his health. He not only taunted the Lucian and the Rammus once again, negating that Rammus taunt. That Lucian immediately went down and they lost all their damage potential. They had Nidalee teleport back, they had Lee Sin recall as well, so in that 4v5 in the mid lane, it would have been bad again, except that Fizz went in. He dived in again, Chum of the Waters onto the targets, onto, I think he was the Karthus is who he targeted that time, because Riven wasn't there. But a perfect Zhonya's kept him alive just before Karthus could finish him off. And then when he came out of that Zhonya's playful trickster off to the side, and he survived, which is just amazing on these engages. Blue Team has these team fights, this late game synergy that Team Korea is bringing is just amazing to watch. Every time that they engage, they should have lost those last two team fights, and instead they played it right and they won.
Yeah, Red Team's slipping a little bit here. We can see the gold's even again. There's 200 gold separating these two teams. Riven might get a catch on to Lee Sin here. We'll see. It doesn't look like it though. They're just going to back out of that one. But what I'd like to note that Red Team is doing right is their ward control. They have a lot of wards down in their jungle here, making sure no one gets caught out. Fizz definitely has some fantastic assassination potential. Riven too slippery, not going to get caught by that Chum in the Waters here. Maybe looking to turn now that Fizz's spells are down.
It's
we
hard
see
to
Karthus
say.
going in.
Red Team is trying to re-engage here. They're just kind of poking back and forth, looking for a fight. Rammus wants to go in, decides not again, not it. He didn't see the target he wanted. He had no vision on this Caitlyn. That's who he wants to taunt, and he didn't see either the Caitlyn or the Fizz. And the Red Team's doing a good job protecting, but it looks like we're gonna have a full fight.
The Red Team they were a little split up there. Now they're regrouped. They where's
Janna's
they have all 5 members here? Oh, Janna's DC. I was counting. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is their 5th? Idol Duran does not land onto anyone. That's another big ultimate down. Fizz's Chum of the Waters is still down. That spell comes out really, really fast though, so it'll be up in a good 15 seconds. Riven going in though, turning with the Blade of the Exile. Is she going to take down Nidalee? She does not. She does not survive that one. Puncturing Taunt does land onto Caitlyn, but Rammus gets taken down as well. Fizz coming in for the re-engage. Oh, Riven! Oh, it's so close! Oh, but the Zhonya's is not going to be up. It fades just before the Requiem comes out. Fizz gets taken down, but they still have 2 members up and might be able to go in and finish this game. Minions are knocking on the Nexus's door. The first Nexus tower is going to fall. Second one soon after. Caitlyn and Lee Sin are going in. They might be able to close out this game right here, right now.
Yeah, so that last team fight, not having that 5th member was a huge thing. Riven turned in and went directly onto Nidalee, and she got a lot of damage. However, Fizz, being so untouchable, was continuing to dance around the sidelines to get a lot of damage down. A great Zhonya's kept him alive, and Riven was waiting by his side when he came out, but still went down. She was actually sitting in the damage from... Who was it? I think it was from Caitlyn's damage, where she was sitting right next to him waiting for that to finish. And when the Too Late went down before the Zhonya's finished off from that Fizz. That's what I'm trying to say. So Caitlyn with so much damage from that static shiv. She's not an AoE champion other than the Piltover Peacemaker, but when she has that static shiv, every auto attack that she has is just so well, it's not every auto attack, but it's so fast. Like it seems like every auto attack she's doing AoE damage.
So I'd like to take a note before we leave this game here to take a look at how much the gold difference between these two teams. We can see Riven compared to Nidalee in the top lane. Riven had a 5,000 gold lead over Nidalee. That is so huge, but a lot of the time she spent trying to split push. I don't know if that was correct. In the one big impactful fight in the mid lane, where Riven was duking it out with Nidalee in the top lane at the inhib tower, when I feel if she was mid, they could have won that fight. They could have tried for a big objective. She has a lead. She needs to use it, not for split pushing, but for team fighting. I'd also like to take note of how much gold Rammus has here. Are you still able to see how much gold?
I think I can switch it over to the graph. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to the graph and go gold earned. There we go. So,
what does the scoreboard say about the amount of gold Rammus has?
Over 9,000 by 1. By 1. That's almost a screenshot moment there. So who is this? This is Baby Tossin' Bandit. If you're on right now, you should screenshot that and just be like, over 9,000. Even if you lost the game, still take pride in the times that you did do well. Because the game is a game. It's all about having fun. If you aren't having fun, then you truly have lost the game. So you need to make sure that you're having fun, and small things like that can certainly make or break a game. It's just awesome, just awesome. So over 9,001 gold total. I mean, how great can that be? How great can that be?
So yeah, fantastic job turning that game around from the blue team. Yes, it was a 5v4, but as we see Checkmate, he says Fizz MVP for real though. And probably Riven or Karthus for purple. That's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking throughout this game, as we were nearing the end of it, I was like, okay, who would get the MVP for me? And I thought it would come down to either Riven or Fizz, which is what Checkmate said as well. Riven won the top lane. She won it really, really hard. She outplayed Nidalee at so many points with those flash engages, throwing down that last bit of damage. She outplayed the 2v1 in the top lane. Yes, Lee Sin helped her out a little bit with that Dragon's Rage. But, no, she did a fantastic job. She knows her champion very, very well. But that did not win them the game. The team decision-making and objective control wasn't there. That belongs to Fizz. He realized Riven is the biggest threat. He focused her every single time, took her down, and did his best to carry his team. Realized who was the threat, took them down, and carried the team to victory.
Made sure that they paid for it. Now, again, it does hurt that the Janna disconnected. She was DC'd for about half of that game, which was really frustrating. But that being said, despite the Janna DCs, the red team still almost won. I personally have won games that have been 3v5 games. We each individually went into a lane and we dominated and we won. You can win 4v5 games, so there's no reason to surrender a game just because someone DCs. So in a game like this, yes, red team did still end up losing. However, they were very, very close to winning, and it was only because of the amazing plays made by blue team, Team Korea, that they were able to finish it off and blue team actually won. So So just throwing that out there. Again, for those of you guys who are new, these games will be available. The team names are how you can find them on the YouTube channel, which is that Shoucast guy. You can find me everywhere online as that Shoucast guy. And this is my duocaster Chrono Frost. We're going to be doing one more game. Feel free to join in here. I've got a lot of people messaging me like, we're doing another, are you still doing another one? You still Shoutcasting? Let's do this. Let's do this. Never surrender, never give up, which I say that all the time on my stream, and only recently you realize that it's actually on Galaxy Quest. It's like one of the main things from Galaxy Quest is never surrender, never give up. And never give up, never surrender. Well, mine